What better way to celebrate Star Wars Day than with a new release of Star Wars content? Star Wars: The Bad Batch hits Disney Plus today, but should you be binging this animated series? The Bad Batch of elite and experimental clones make their way through an ever-changing galaxy in the immediate aftermath of the Clone Wars. So the Bad Batch made their appearance in the Clone Wars, but now we get a series dedicated to their story. Now this might be a minor spoiler, so just in case, here's your warning. If you don't want to hear it, maybe skip forward about 20 or so seconds. This show kicks off right as Order 66 is being executed, but the Bad Batch aren't really affected by the order issued by Palpatine. So if you're a fan of the Clone Wars and even The Mandalorian, Dave Filoni is involved as the creator of this show. I think at this point, Disney should just give control of Star Wars over to Filoni and Jon Favreau, and we'll just be good to go. The animation is really good, and it feels just like you're watching the Clone Wars, so it's not a new style, which could make it kind of jarring. And I really liked the way this is animated. The style is smooth, but it has a grittiness to the characters and the textures. And I know that sounds a little bit like it's contradicting, but what I mean is that the character designs are just so well done and animated well, but they have this war-torn feel to them. And most of the characters actually look like they've taken part in the wars, and I appreciate that. We get to meet the main players in the first episode, which include Hunter, Wrecker, Tech, Echo, Crosshair, Omega, and Tarkin. So if you're not familiar with the characters, we do get a little bit of an introduction to who they are, mainly based on their skill sets. But there are other moments within this that show more of the inner workings of each of the players, and we get to see their different facets of their personalities, which I think are going to have a lot of effects as the story moves forward. There is a bit of an obviousness to one portion of this episode, but I don't think it's a weakness. It's just more of a clear-cut character definition. We also get to meet a character in the opening scene, and it will be interesting to see if they make a reappearance, and if so, how are they going to play into the larger narrative. Now this first episode is 72 minutes long, which is wonderful in terms of launching a series. The rest of the show is going to feature episodes around 28-ish minutes, to the best of my knowledge, but this first one really takes its time to launch us into the world and build out some compelling story arcs. I also like how this fits in with the prequel stories that we know, and it takes place during episode 3. It's neat to see the story from another perspective and to have characters that are quirky, brash, and intriguing because of their unique characteristics. I'm looking forward to the adventures the group goes on, and the introduction of the character Omega is really fun. She's a young girl the Bad Batch encounters on Kamino, and while she's mischievous and most likely has some really cool hidden talents, she brings a totally different dynamic to the group, and I enjoyed that. And speaking of dynamics, the Bad Batch themselves had some good diversity in terms of skills and character. The strengths and weaknesses really help to define them and can also bring a bit of humor sometimes. Now there's also a good amount of action in this, and it's entertaining to watch some of the battles happen. And I especially enjoyed a battle where the Bad Batch were participating in a training simulation, and man, ooh, that last shot of that, it was just epically fun. I'm liking the drama that is being built and how we see tensions growing all around them. As things change when it comes to those in power, the show creates some engaging conflict that should extend into many of the future episodes. One thing I absolutely loved is the score in this. During certain moments, you can hear the swell of the very familiar Star Wars tunes, which really just enhance the feeling of the scene. It also creates a lot of nostalgia. So we're getting 14 episodes in this first season, which should make for an exciting summer of new content. And even though episode 1 is launching on May 4th, the rest of the episodes will land on Disney Plus on Fridays, with episode 2 coming on May 7th. So overall, this is a really fun entry in the new realm of the Star Wars saga. And if you're a fan of the Clone Wars, then my guess is that you've been looking forward to this and are really going to enjoy it. And the super serving of content for this first episode is wonderful for the story and world building. It also allows even those that aren't familiar with the Clone Wars series that they can get into this fairly quickly and enjoy it. There's no sex, nudity, or profanity, but there is some animated violence. I give The Bad Batch Episode 1 4 out of 5 couches. So what's your favorite entry in the Star Wars universe? Is it one of the original films, the prequels, or maybe the sequels, or even those that sit as standalone films, or maybe even a series? I'd love to know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me. My son got a Saber Forge lightsaber that he custom made, and It's really cool, and it has a whole bunch of different things. This isn't an endorsement for them, but hey, Saberforge, if you want to reach out to me and talk, we totally can. But he bought this, and this is awesome. He doesn't know I borrowed it because he's at work tonight. So, what are you going to do, right? But when you hit it, isn't that awesome? Anyway, I'm a geek. Love it. Happy Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you.